all are very happy to see the very encouraging numbers. The one number that encourages me very, very especially is the halving of the fiscal deficit, which means that the government has actually had a deficit lower by 7 lakh crore rupees over what was predicted. Now, 7 lakh crore rupees is a huge achievement for the fisc. It is something that puts a lot of optimism into our projections for the coming year, because now what we have been waiting for all the last 2 years, what with the national infrastructure pipeline in which we are supposed to be spending around 100 lakh crore rupees, and the Gati Shakti scheme announced by the Prime Minister on the ramparts of Red Fort on the 15th of August this year, 100 lakh crore Gati Shakti scheme. All these schemes require a lot of investment, and that investment, in the current status of things, the way these things are, it's going to be made by the government, by the public sector. This money is not going to be ponied up by the private sector as of now, at least. And we now have a clear path, we have a clear vision that this money is available. Let us make sure that our infrastructure spend during the coming financial year is nothing less than 30 lakh crore rupees, considering that there is an overlap between Gati Shakti and between the national infrastructure pipeline schemes. Even then, the moment we make sure that we do this sort of expenditure into our infra, we are addressing a lot of problems. This K-shaped recovery which we are talking about, it is a fact. We cannot wish it away. And why this K-shaped recovery is there? Because the large primary producers, the large organized sector has definitely benefited. They are doing very well. But the lower sections, the middle class, the lower middle class, the daily wage earners, they have suffered very badly. And for them to generate work, to generate employment, what you need is investment into infrastructure. And as our former President Rajiv Ji said, especially into construction, these are the industries which have the best multiplier effect for both employment and for the GDP to grow. So this is one thing that I would personally expect the government to be taking special care. We have the intentions and now we have the money. So we have both the intentions and the money. Let's do it. There's one more thing, one more problem that is facing the downstream sector of the MSMEs. That is the high commodity prices. That needs to be addressed. The commodity prices being high worldwide is not something the government of India can do much about. But what the government of India can do is to reduce or rather even remove the customs duties or reduce the customs duties to zero for those commodities where the prices have gone up more than 50% during the last 1 year. Because the problem that is happening is that while the commodity producers, the primary producers are very happy, the downstream producers are a big problem, and the downstream industry, the MSMEs, they are the largest employers. 11 crore employment is provided by the MSMEs, which are in a serious problem. One more thing that needs to be looked after for the MSMEs is the ECLGS scheme. That 5 lakh crores has been very well spent, I would say. In fact, it's not even spent, it's only a guarantee, but it has been a big support to the MSMEs. Our recommendation is that at least 2 lakh crore further should be added to the scheme. The travails of the COVID pandemic have not gone away, and the MSME sector seriously needs to be continued with this support. So with this, I think I have tried not to repeat the suggestions of my previous speakers, and I think this is more or less the gist of what I would like to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your great focus on the MSME sector, which contribute at around 30% in the GDP. But the share of manufacturing MSMEs is very, very meager. That is only 8%. Rest is contributed by the services sector MSMEs. And services sector, if you observe the economic survey, is still impacted.